access live, I believe, but not on X Spaces, which is audio only. So on X, is it called X Live?
Okay, I'm hearing my voice back with a bit of delay. So
yeah, who maybe someone's viewing it. That's why.
Okay. Right. Let me just give a very quick sort of marketing and growth and sort of strategy commercial update, and then we'll start talking about technology and product. So those that are in the Discord community and active in there, you'll have seen we posted the Q3 transparency report, and in there it gives the usual update in terms of progress and delivery on a sort of commercial aspect and technology as well. I won't recap on all the key points in the transparency report, but if you want to read it, jump into the Discord or go to the Streamr.network website and go to resources tab and then blog, and you can read it in there. I think one of the things that we've hinted at is that there is going to be a SIP coming for another funding package. It's not a particularly popular message in the community, but that is kind of a necessity. I'm going to be getting into the Discord later this week just to sort of start to talk that through. And in addition, I'm setting up what we're calling a DAO subcommittee. So as I take over in this new role as CEO, I want to work much more closely with the community. And there's a lot of knowledge in there, some very experienced community members, and there's a lot of talent. And we want to utilize that. We want to tap into it. And ultimately, we want to make sure that we are listening to the community and that we're building against their objectives and needs and wants. So that subcommittee kickoff call is going to happen in a couple of weeks' time. I sent an email out earlier today to those that signed up to be applicants for the subcommittee. So that'll all start happening soon as well. So that's exciting. On the sort of marketing and growth side, if someone when we posted the transparency report, there was a comment from a community member about where we spend our money, and I broadly agreed with those comments. And one of the things that I want to drive, and Petri wants to drive as well, is more investment on marketing and growth. Historically, we've been very technology focused, which is right because Streamr Network is deep tech, and that's where the money should have been spent. But as we go into application layer and a retail product, clearly growth is everything, and so we're going to start investing in marketing. I always use the word investing in marketing because, in these early stages especially, you have to spend that money in order to get those first seeds of sort of first roots of growth, and you're learning through going through that process. So there's a definite return on investment there. So we're reworking the budget. We're driving more efficiencies in the budget, and ultimately, we want to become as efficient and lean team as possible, and spend more money on marketing and growth so that we can start to bring in users for StreamrTV. On the marketing side as well, we are halfway through a website relaunch for StreamrTV. You can see the current website for StreamrTV at stv.streamr.network, and that was a super lean first build. It's a glorified landing page as much as a website. And we're upgrading that now with a sort of new look and feel for Streamr. And I use the word Streamr because we're actually going to use the streamr.com URL for all things Streamr video streaming. And we're going to brand just as Streamr. So we're going to drop the sort of TV aspect of it. And the differentiation will be Streamr will be all things application layer video streaming, and Streamr Network will remain as it is, which is the underlying core technology, networking protocol. So new website coming soon. I've seen some first drafts of that. Looks pretty good. We've got a lot more work to do on it, but we hope to get that live, I would say, within 2 weeks. And then once that's live, we have a homepage. We have supporting landing pages for our various different use cases and value propositions, and we will productize against those value propositions. But more importantly, as we've talked about before, the point of those different value props is so that we can start testing against them and seeing where the traction and demand is. And so as soon as that website is live, then we'll start to invest that marketing money in sort of paid campaigns and bring users in. So there's a lot happening on the marketing side. We also brought in a growth marketer into the team, who, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with this growth marketer. I've seen his work on various other projects. I have in fact worked with him before in a previous life, and that person is going to help execute our campaigns and accelerate growth over the coming months and hopefully years. So yeah, that's the marketing kind of side of things update. And Petri, do you want me to give an overview of the roadmap, or do you want to sort of tackle that? I don't mind really.
Petri, you're on mute.
Yeah, I think you can go through it.
Yeah, sure.
Am I mute?
No, you're off mute now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think
I think you can go through it.
Before you mute yourself, Petri, unmute yourself. What I want to kind of bring up is like this is the first time we've done a video streaming for the BIP call. So we typically can't have guests on, and that's one of the things we really want to focus on, is bringing guest community members on and asking questions and different things of that nature. So if you guys are in the crowd and have a couple questions, or you want to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to. We're going to have an audio only space going on at the same time as this space. We're just testing it out. This is the first time we're doing it. So we're going to eventually add the audio only space under StreamrTV. This week we didn't want to do that, just for full transparency and like just to keep you guys all in the loop. And yeah, so if you have any questions, just feel free to comment below on either our StreamrTV. So we'll get back to the chat. Actually, that's probably the best place to do it, on our StreamrTV live chat. And we'll answer all the questions that you may have if you guys are, want to have any in-depth or, things we don't cover in this topic, we can for sure cover with any questions you guys might have in the StreamrTV chat.
Yeah, awesome. A good point as well. There's a lot of people that are listening to this will be doing so for the first time on those other platforms. I hadn't really thought of that. So maybe we should have kicked off with a bit of an introduction and overview, but okay. Any questions, fire them out, as Zadif said, and we'll tackle them at the end of the call.
Do we know, can we add the link, the StreamrTV link under our X space, if that's possible, under the X space?
Yeah, Tom will do that.
Yeah, Tom, if you can help out with that. But all right, cool. Sorry, Petri, didn't want to interrupt there. Just wanted to kind of speak on that. I think it's kind of important.
Yeah, it's important. Thanks, Adi. All right, let me talk around the roadmap, and then if we want to go deeper on it, then Petri's the man. So yeah, recording feature is very close to being shipped. We are a bit late on this. We had essentially what happened was we built an MVP, and then the guys said, okay, we want to do this better, quicker, as in have the load time of the product quicker. So they've had to rework quite a bit, and there's been some technical challenges along the way. That's fine. We're only a couple of weeks late. It's going to ship very, very soon. And yeah, so then you'll be able to record your live streams, which is, again, another really kind of key feature, and we've talked about that several times. Next up is plugins. So if you've joined these calls before, you'll have heard Petri and myself talk about plugins. It's really important for us that community developers are able to come and contribute to StreamrTV in the way that they want to see it built and the features that they want. So, what could plugins be? Plugins could be graphics overlays. They could be AI tools, object detection. They could be more trivial, frivolous things like, I don't know, memes or something on the more sort of creative side. There's all sorts of features that can be built with plugins. So the whole project is kind of architected that way, and we really want to encourage community participation in that way. Even if you're a junior developer or have some very light technical skills, we're going to make it as easy as possible. We're going to encourage vibe coding in order to build plugins. And with AI tools today, then this should be easily capable. So that's going to come fairly soon. We haven't got an exact timeline yet, but I would say the chunk of that is done. It's a case of tidying up at the moment, preparing docs and sort of marketing materials to support it. But the core underlying technology is there and ready to go. So recording feature, plugins coming kind of as a fast follow. I'd say the other fast follow is we need a better project name for this, or a project name. So suggestions welcome. But two of our developers, one of whom is Henry, who's the original technical founder of Streamr and CTO, are going to build direct linkage between video streams and sponsorship contracts. So what do I mean by that? So if you're new to Streamr Network and you don't really understand how the tokenomics work yet, essentially, if you're running what's called an operator node, which is a specialist node of which we have between 600 and 800 in our community. These are Web3 enthusiasts around the world that run dedicated Streamr nodes that are always on. If at the moment what happens is someone goes onto the hub, which is a Streamr platform, and they engage those operator nodes by locking data tokens into a smart contract called a sponsorship contract. And as the operator nodes stream that data and honor the sponsorship contract, they earn APY in data token rewards, data token being our native token. Now, what we're doing now is we're saying, okay, all the video streams that are going to come through Streamr, aka StreamrTV, about to be rebranded as Streamr, there's going to be direct linkage between those video streams and the operator nodes. And all of that will happen in a sort of automated fashion so that operator nodes automatically join the video streams that need operator node support. So we've talked about this in many of these calls over the last months, but what we're doing here is building this application layer because we want to drive much more data through the network, and this direct linkage between the app layer and the protocol and network layer tokenomics is really key and quite a unique and novel model for DeepIn. So we are quite excited by this, and yeah, I'm fairly confident we'll have that shipped by the end of the year. So that's kind of project number 3 that's been worked on at the moment. We've got some work going on mitigating technical debt and efficiency in the code. I'll let Petri talk more about that later. The other thing that we are working on the front end is a discover feature. So it'll be discover.streamr.com, and think of this as like a globe. And on the globe, you're going to see all the live streams and the recorded streams once the recording feature is live. This was inspired by a website called radio.garden. If you check out radio.garden, on there you can search and discover live radio streams from around the world. So if I go to my home city and I want to listen to my local radio station from there, you just zoom into the globe and select the radio station. And we want to do the same thing with Streamr. We think that's a really novel way to discover content. And we know that a large chunk of the traffic coming into our product and site will be people looking for new content to consume. So not only is it novel, but it fits the value propositions that we're testing, or many of the value propositions that we're testing. So you're going to start seeing some early designs on that in our social media channels in the sort of coming weeks. So that's quite exciting as well. And finally, last but not least, and Petri's really leading the charge on this because this is deeply technical at a networking level, but we're going to move from one-to-many to what we've previously been referring to as many-to-many. But now we're referring to it with a more technical definition, which is multi-broadcasting. So let's just take a step back for those that are new to this project. One-to-many means I, as an individual, are broadcasting or streaming to an audience of many people. If you were to draw that diagrammatically, there would be a node or peer, and multiple streams coming out from that source, and then they would go to other peers and then onto the next hop of peers. In a sort of what we've been referring to as many-to-many opens up new use cases whereby individuals, aka peers or nodes, can speak to each other in a sort of bi-directional manner. And that opens up use cases like telephone calls, video conferencing with just one-to-one or multiple participants. And actually, many-to-many is a bit of a wrong definition. And we're going to start referring to it as multi-broadcasting. The reason for that is because the underlying technology of a one-to-one unidirectional discussion, whether audio or video, is actually the same technology as if you have 3 in that discussion, or 4 or 5 or even more. So technically speaking, it's called multi-broadcasting, and that is being kicked off, and Petri's kind of leading on that one. Technically challenging, but when we get to that stage, that really is going to take our MVP 2, which we're currently at, onto sort of what we call MVP 3 stage. Now, we're trying to get to all of this by the end of the year. As you can imagine, listening to everything I've just described, there's quite a lot on the table there to deliver for a relatively small development team. However, there's a high level of confidence we can ship all of that by the end of the year. A lot of the sort of groundwork has been done across those projects. Will there be challenges along the way? Almost certainly. We may see some slippage on some of those features. Let's see. So yeah, a lot happening across the kind of growth and marketing side of the project, and also on the technical and product side. I'll stop there because I've been talking for way too long, as usual. Adeeb.
No problem. I actually was really more. I've been like finding out more like there's like this really strong, I would say, like a place for Streamr Meets to really take advantage of a strong market opportunity, which is what we've been seeing with a lot of these Google Meets and Zoom like vulnerabilities that have been taking place. And I really think that's like a powerful opportunity for StreamrTV, and like kind of it's a subsidiary StreamrTV, right? Streamr Meets. And I obviously what we saw with Signal recently with the we saw like, the shutdown of the cloud server, the servers just shut down, like, and no one was able to use it because of because it's not distributed and it's not peer-to-peer. The foundation, the infrastructure that Signal uses this isn't meant to be as it's not distributed, and it's not gonna see the same success, I think, for this time frame currently. So I think one thing we're going to start to see is like this type of tech that StreamrTV is enabling, and what peer-to-peer tech enables can easily replace these privacy tech narrative type companies. And it's exciting to see that we kind of are filling that gap. It's just now making people realize like this is what we've always been wanting, and this is it right here,
Yeah, so we've consciously been kind of sitting on the fence with respect to what we think Streamr is going to become at an application level, because we've been testing, we've been understanding demand against different value propositions. That journey will continue for the rest of the year and into 2026. And that early demand will almost certainly come from places that we as a team or as a community haven't yet thought of. In my experience, that's kind of quite often how it works. Let's see. However, there is a very strong thesis within the team around this idea of kind of Streamr Meet or decentralized Google Meet or decentralized Zoom. And you touched on it, Adeeb, but almost every week in X, I see examples of advanced Web3 users being socially engineered into having their wallets drained because Google and Zoom aren't as secure as they could be or should be. And because we're using decentralized technologies, then we can easily and readily add features that make that whole video streaming experience that much more safe and secure. So what I'm getting at is that, let's say the three of us were having this call now as a team call. I need to know, I absolutely have to and need to know that I'm on a call with Adeeb and Petri and not deepfake AIs. That story I see all of the time on social media, and it's quite terrifying. We've talked about it many times on this call. So, Yeah, that's a strong thesis. And so I just touched on one of the projects that we need a project name for, which I'm going to refer to again as linkage between video streams and operator nodes. That's why we're prioritizing that in the roadmap, is because when we do that, then we can introduce this kind of privacy layer, obfuscates IP addresses through operator nodes. So it's almost like a decentralized VPN layer on top of video streams, or maybe almost like an onion routing network on top of video streams. So that's why we're accelerating that in the roadmap, because we have this strong thesis around privacy. Already, Streamr is hyper secure. It's encrypted in a peer-to-peer network, which is difficult to do in the first place. It's quantum resistant encryption, by the way, as you might have heard Henry talk about social media. And cryptographic signing is necessary in order to join a stream in certain use cases. So there's lots going on there, and we inherently have a really strong role to play there because of our decentralized tech. You touched also on I think it's the chairman or the CEO of Signal responding to a challenge from Elon Musk. So Elon Musk challenged Signal and said that he was surprised that with the Amazon outages, AWS outages last week, that Signal went down for so many people in so many regions. And Meredith Whittaker, who I think is the CEO, I'm not sure, but she responded saying it's surprising to her that so many people were surprised that Signal runs partly on AWS. And her big point was that there aren't really any alternatives that can do what they do at scale globally. Well, we fundamentally disagree. That's what Streamr was built for. And I'm flying the flag for Streamr, obviously, but also there are many other decentralized infrastructure projects which can support projects like Signal. It's surprising to me that someone like Meredith Whittaker isn't aware of that. I would have thought that she is, to be honest, but she's a tech leader in Silicon Valley. Obviously, she knows what decentralized infrastructure is and looks like. So maybe she has her reasons, but I think that the conclusion for us is that the timing is right, and I think we have a high level of confidence that the demand is there. Signal has more than 100 million users globally, and by the way, as we've touched in this call, not only are they using centralized servers, which is a point of potential failure, as was proven last week, but the costs for them are very, very high, tens of millions of dollars in infrastructure costs, especially when you get into things like video streaming, which is high throughput, high payload data. So decentralized technologies, because they're deep in, because we're leveraging users to propagate the data, our cost base is much, much lower, which is a key commercial advantage as well. I'm probably talking too much again. I'll stop and pause.
No. It's important. Everything you're stating is really important. But yeah, I mean, that's a narrative. That's our narrative. That peer-to-peer kind of narrative. That freedom tech narrative. Something that we need to kind of embrace more, I think, with StreamrTV. And one thing that Rumble, a competitor of ours, is just got a huge investment from, I think, Tether or Hole Punch, one of those guys, for $775 million. So there's a lot of money in this, a lot of interest coming from the signal of live streaming, right? And that's some gap we can definitely fill, whether that is possibly, looking to the capital markets to help us create more of that narrative, right? Because that helps. That helps a lot. So
yeah. I mean, I think the opportunity is there when we're ready. Yeah, I could talk about that for the next half hour, but I'll pause. I don't know, Petri, do you want to add any comments? I mean, maybe you could touch on this multi-broadcast thing. I find that a fascinating topic in terms of how that's going to work exactly.
Yes, hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you just fine, yeah.
Yeah. So when we get this multi-broadcasting or multi-broadcaster feature of StreamrTV ready, so then we can properly run this kind of sessions that you are now watching with full audience contributions with video. So I think that is, I mean, this whole experience now that we are using Streamyard for this show. It really feels it's lacking something. There's no audience. We cannot invite anybody to give their comments with their faces. There's no interaction. But when this feature is ready in StreamrTV, then we can do it. And I think that is really something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact concept is, but there's something around this multi-streaming platform, which we can easily do with our technology, by the way, of making that more compelling for professional streamers. And we're starting to work with professional streamers. We've had some of them on this show previously. And we need to go back to them and speak to them in more depth. But I think, yeah, building a more sort of immersive multi-streaming platform is certainly something that could be really compelling, because if you're a professional streamer and you're managing all of these platforms with audiences and communities on different platforms, it's like if you can aggregate that and then add a layer of engagement and make that experience really special, then that's potentially rocket fuel for a live streamer. One of the concepts that we're seeing in the Web3 world is there's a project called Zora, and they're doing decentralized live streaming in the base ecosystem. Like, I don't really see them as a competitor to us, because yes, they're doing decentralized live streaming, but yeah, I don't know how to say this, but they're kind of a bit more degen than us and much more kind of Web3 centric. So we're Web3 technologists, but we want to open up our products to Web2 normie audiences, so to speak. So yeah, it's really interesting keeping an eye on them and what they're doing and how they're kind of viewing things and how they're building things. And a really interesting thing that Zora are doing, and I think this was inspired by Jesse, who's the CEO of Base, is they're tokenizing. Well, they're giving the ability for every content creator to tokenize their content. So 1 token per content creator. So one of the concepts there is say, like, I was looking at their app last week, and there's a DJ on there, female DJ, I forget her name, but she's DJing live sets, and then she's got her token, and you can trade a token live, like based on what you think about the DJ set. Is her mixing good? Buy the token. Her market cap goes up. She misses a beat or does a crap mix, people sell the token, the market price goes down. It's kind of like a live poly market crowd betting thing going on, overlaid with content creation. But that's where Web3 world's going. So, I'm thinking about this concept about a multi-streaming platform whereby, maybe we could do that sort of thing where we can really add value to live streamers. I mean, there's so many opportunities at the moment. It's just every day we kind of think of new ones. So this is why we're trying to work out and test all these massive opportunities. Cool. So we've got a bunch of questions. Should we tackle them now, or?
Let's see. Yeah, let's tackle them now. I think we got a couple questions. We got someone that said something on YouTube. You guys still alive with the winky face? So I'm glad
we're tired, but we're alive. Yeah, we haven't been on YouTube for a while, so probably that's where that comment's coming from. But yeah, if you see it, you can see it right here. Was there a name against that comment, or
DJ?
Maybe not. Anyway, yeah. If you wrote that comment, then DigiRock, yeah, DigiRock. If you haven't been following Streamr for a while, then yeah, we've been busy building. We've pivoted. We were about the protocol, and we were trying to sell the protocol, and now we're building an application layer on top, video streaming application layer. So jump into our X, and you can get an update on everything that we're doing, or jump to the Discord, or join this call every week, and that's why we're doing this call. So thanks for the comment. We've got a question from Salem. When is live broadcasting happening? I guess means many to many. Okay, so Salem, live broadcasting works on StreamrTV today. Like, we're restreaming into StreamrTV right now, but in a one-to-many fashion. So just to explain that again, it means that if you have a single point of source, you can broadcast to an unlimited audience. That's the definition of one-to-many. Many-to-many means, well, technically speaking, multi-broadcasting means we can host guests, and we can have like a panel type discussion or a Google Meet, Zoom type private discussion. Many-to-many unlocks those use cases. So that's the next step. That's MVP3. If you want to play around and start live streaming on Streamer TV, you can do that right now. Go to tv.streamer.network. That's MVP2 is hosted there. And in one click, you can live stream to as many people as you want, as many people as you can share the URL to. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that was really everything currently. But yeah, I even looked on X and stuff. Binance, I will say I don't know if they're even listening.
Yeah, it says like the Karen from the Binance marketing team said she's pinned the stream, so we must be. I don't know. I'll try and log in whilst we're doing this and see what I can see.
I'm like looking. There's a lot of comments. I'm not saying that, but I'm not sure what they mean exactly. If you get what I'm saying, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of comments that aren't related to what we're talking about.
Okay, fair enough. When Lambo, when Moon, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So, what else do you want to cover off? We talked marketing and growth. We've talked product and roadmap. We've talked about transparency report. Yeah.
I'm excited to get this happening on audio only as well, because I think that's going to be we're going to see a huge because then we'll be able to get more engagement. We'll be able to have the audience come up and speak. Like we can do that now, but I don't think many people want to come up with their camera, you know. So I'm excited to kind of get it going on both ends, having the X space added included with this live stream. I wish it was easier, but there's some little things that we need to make sure that it goes right. So
yeah. We'll get this show more polished for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course one day we're going to host this on Streamr. So
only Streamr, hopefully. I think what Petri said, it would be ideal, right? Kind of having StreamrTV be the main spot, and then we stream it all from StreamrTV itself. So we know what I mean. So we use it as a multi-stream platform.
Yeah, cool.
That'd be the ideal spot. That'd be the ideal opportunity for like basically it would be a meeting platform, a multi-stream platform, and a regular live stream platform.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Or not idea, it's happening, but that's next up.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to cover off, streaming related or otherwise? I'll give you a question, guys. Are we at the end of the bull run, or are we going up from here?
Want to go first, Petri?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything left to say? We are working very hard to get this multi-broadcast thing out. We hope that. Well, it's very hard to give any promises, and I'm not doing that now either. But I would wish that we could have this kind of meeting like early next year on StreamrTV.
Yeah. I think that's amazing. I think we'll see what happens in the Fed meeting. I think the Fed meeting is happening in 20 minutes, so it's going to be super volatile in the next 20 minutes. So all right, the next
actually there's one more question in the chat.
Oh, there is. Let's go to it.
From Bon Jovi, you talked about website update. Will the ecosystem partner overview also get an update? Seems very old. Yeah, we can update that. It's a good point. Yeah, so just to be clear on the approach on the website, video streaming application is going to be on streamer.com. Then streamer.network is going to stay as it is. And Bon Jovi is referring to the partner logos on streamer.network. So yeah, we'll update that. That's fine. Cool. Bit of a short call this week. 40 minutes. Usually we run through the hour and then we usually go over.
I think it's typically we'll have like a guest on, stuff of that nature. So that might be a reason why. But I think like I said, once we kind of get the audio spaces going as well, we can invite people on here as well too, it's going to be nice. but we're actually getting a couple more questions in the chat, so maybe we'll answer a couple more of these questions.
Yeah, put those in. I'll answer those. Just one
Yeah.
other comment to get. You talked about guests, so I think for the next show I might be able to get some professional streamers on who we're talking to about a show on StreamrTV. So if we can get that deal done, then we'll bring them on to the next call. We can sort of announce that. That'd be great.
Yeah, and actually, I think this makes what we're doing right now makes more sense than just doing the audio only. I'm glad we kind of shifted to this, and then making the audio only just a byproduct of what we do as the main thing. I think this being the main thing makes more sense for, as our BIP call for like a streaming platform.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Hi, mate. I'm on a live call, so thanks very much. That was very glad you brought some cake.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
I've been telling like 5 times, but on a live call. Anyway,
That's fine. Okay, Buoyant.
Buoyant.
Okay, Odyssey is a video service that is going Web3. Have you looked into whether or not they would need a decentralized live video?
Not recently. I'm aware of Odyssey. I believe I'm right in saying that Arweave, in fact, acquired Odyssey, or Odyssey were part of the Arweave. So yes, thanks for raising that point. To see where their tech stack is. I would really hope and like to think that easier said than done. I can do it. So, are there any partnerships active, Deepin or otherwise, from Bonjovo? Yeah, I mean, we've got the, in our sort of protocol adoption days, pre-pivot to streamer video, we had a bunch of sort of Deepin partners. We still work with many of those, obviously Demo and Redstone and all the others that you can see on the sort of above the fold on the website, on streamer.network. We work with them to different degrees. Like some of them I would say are deep partners, some of them are light partners. But it's not the focus going forwards because there's a limit to that opportunity. Like we've explored that for 2 years. And yeah, we've had all of those conversations with every Deepin in the EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine. Obviously, we don't speak to the Deepins on the Solana side because our tech doesn't work there because of the smart contracts. It could, in theory, it's just a lot of work to rework the smart contracts. So we've decided not to do that for now. So yeah, going forwards, we are a limited resource team, small team, and the strategy is not to waste our time developing partnerships that deliver minimal amounts of data through the network. So we are approaching projects with respect to live video streaming partnerships. So definitely we're reaching out on that front. So for example, earlier this week I was speaking to a decentralized gaming platform, which is quite big and quite successful. And the pitch to them was, look, we can help you do gaming streaming. So those sort of partnership conversations we're still having and still developing. And if anyone can get me a call with Signal, then please let me know. I would dearly like to speak to Meredith Whitaker. So yeah, partnerships where we can white label our video streaming tech or audio streaming tech, then we're going to go after those for sure. But actually, 80% of our efforts are about building this retail level application.
Mark, what happened with the Discord, decentralized Discord team that we were going to talk to? How's that going?
What do you mean the decentralized Discord team?
They building it like you were in the call with that space that you were in with decentralized Deepin.
That was
and then they mentioned
Deepin Connection and
Deepin Connection, yeah.
They introduced us to Towns protocol.
Yeah, aren't they like a Discord or like a Web3 community platform? And
Towns decentralized communication protocol, and they have applications on top for chat messaging, and I think they're doing video streaming. Yeah, no, I got introduced to them. I reached out to them on Telegram, but I never got a response. So I might chase it actually.
Yeah, that's because I think the white labeling service is also like a great avenue.
Certainly is, yeah. Certainly
Yeah.
is. I strongly believe that once we get traction on our application, I think the calls will start coming in terms of white labeling the tech, because people will start to see that it's working. We've got users. So in the years gone by with Streamr, we've always struggled because we've been selling something that is so abstract. And yeah, we've got a protocol, but we have a pitch deck or a website, but it's quite hard to sell off that. You can't actually see the technology in action.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, in answer to Bonjour's questions, yeah, we're less partnership focused right now. Like, the community have to understand that we are a small team and we are foot flat down building what we're building, and it's 24/7 at the moment. So there's only so much we can do to focus on what. Okay. Any more questions, Adib?
No, looks like there's no more questions from StreamrTV. Yeah, looks like everything is pretty much answered from our end. And I mean, Binance Square, they were very insightful with their comments. I don't know if when you guys get a chance, take a look at it. But then let's see on X, I didn't get to take a look at X. X might have had some more comments, maybe not. Nope, no comments on X. So yeah, looks like we're kind of went through all of them. Great questions though.
And we'll transcribe this call, and then we'll put a summary of it into the community as well, right? Because we had that request in the Discord.
Yep, I have it transcribed right now. I think I missed the first 5 minutes, but yeah, but the rest is basically transcribed. So
thanks, Steve. Thanks, Petri. Speak to you in 2 weeks' time. Well, I speak to you guys every day. I speak to the audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Cool.
See you later.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.